In 1978, Frederick Valentic, a 20-year-old Australian pilot, vanished while flying a Cessna 182L over the Bass Strait. During his flight, Valentic reported an unidentified aircraft following him, describing it as having 4 bright lights and moving at high speed. His last transmission included the chilling words, "It's not an aircraft." Afterward, all communication was lost. Despite extensive search efforts, neither Valentic nor his aircraft was ever found. Speculation about his disappearance includes theories of alien abduction, disorientation leading to a crash, or even a staged disappearance. The mysterious circumstances and Valentic's creepy final messages have left the case unsolved and continue to intrigue investigators and UFO enthusiasts alike. In 1587, over 100 settlers vanished from Roanoke Island, in present-day North Carolina, in one of America's oldest unsolved mysteries. Governor John White returned to England for supplies, leaving behind his family and colony. Delayed by war, he came back in 1590 to find the settlement abandoned, with no sign of struggle. The only clue was the word Croatoan carved into a post and crow etched into a tree. Speculation includes assimilation with local tribes, Spanish attacks, or relocation. Despite archaeological efforts and historical research, the fate of the lost colony of Roanoke remains unknown, a perplexing chapter in early American history that continues to intrigue and puzzle historians and enthusiasts alike. In 1959, 9 experienced hikers, led by Igor Dyatlov, perished mysteriously in the Ural Mountains of Russia, an incident now known as the Dyatlov Pass incident. Their tent was found ripped open from the inside, and the hikers, who fled into the freezing wilderness inadequately dressed, had severe unexplained injuries. Some were found with crushed skulls and chests, while one was missing her tongue and eyes. Radiation traces were detected on their clothing. Theories range from an avalanche and infrasound-induced panic to secret military tests and extraterrestrial encounters. Despite extensive investigations, the exact cause of the hikers' deaths remains unknown, leaving the Dyatlov Pass incident as one of the most chilling and perplexing mysteries in history. In 1983, the Don Decker case, also known as the Rain Man case, baffled both law enforcement and paranormal investigators. While on furlough from prison to attend his grandfather's funeral in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, Don Decker began experiencing strange phenomena. Water inexplicably started dripping from the ceilings and walls of the house where he was staying, despite no plumbing issues. Witnesses, including police officers, reported seeing the water and feeling an eerie presence. When Decker was moved to a restaurant and later to a jail cell, the mysterious rain followed him. Even more disturbing, Decker appeared to go into trances during these occurrences. Despite multiple investigations, no scientific explanation has been found for the inexplicable indoor rain, leaving the Don Decker case shrouded in fear and mystery. Every night before going to bed, I check the front door of my apartment, ensuring it's locked. One night, I felt an urge to peek through the peephole. The usually quiet hallway had something unusual. The door handle of the opposite apartment was moving. It turned slowly and stopped, repeating this eerie dance. Was someone trapped? Was there a hidden message? After 10 minutes, it stopped. The next day at night, the handle moved again. I contacted building security. The owner confirmed the apartment was vacant, in the process of being sold, and had been empty for months. The mysterious movements continued for a while. New tenants moved in, and the eerie occurrences stopped. Yet, every time I pass by that door, a chill reminds me of those unexplained nights. In 1947, a mysterious object crash-landed near Roswell, New Mexico, sparking widespread speculation about extraterrestrial life. Initially, the U.S. military announced they had recovered a flying disc, but quickly retracted the statement, claiming it was a weather balloon. This inconsistency fueled rumors of a government cover-up. Witnesses reported strange debris and unusual metal fragments at the crash site, and some claimed to have seen alien bodies. Over the years, various theories have emerged, ranging from experimental military aircraft to alien encounters. Despite official reports dismissing the extraterrestrial angle, the Roswell incident remains one of the most debated and controversial unsolved mysteries, captivating UFO enthusiasts and conspiracy theorists worldwide. One night, Maria was walking home through the dimly lit streets when the sound of footsteps echoed behind her. She glanced back and saw a fleeting glimpse of a figure cloaked in a long, tattered coat. As Maria turned a corner, the figure charged. She screamed and fell. The last thing she saw was the glint of a blade. Miraculously, Maria survived, waking in the hospital with the letter X carved into her neck. She recounted the attack, and the news spread like wildfire. The town trembled with fear that it could happen again, but no other attack like this one occurred, leaving them wondering why Maria was targeted and if she would ever be safe again. In 1966, the small town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, was terrorized by a series of strange sightings of a creature that came to be known as the Mothman. Described as a humanoid figure with large, glowing red eyes and expansive wings, the Mothman was first seen by two young couples driving near an abandoned TNT plant. Over the next year, numerous locals reported encounters with the eerie creature, often accompanied by feelings of dread. These sightings culminated in the tragic collapse of the Silver Bridge in December 1967, which resulted in 46 deaths. Some believe the Mothman was a harbinger of the disaster, while others speculate it was involved. Despite investigations and extensive folklore, the true nature of the Mothman remains an unsettling and frightening mystery. In 1945, the Sodder family's home in Fayetteville, West Virginia, was destroyed by a fire on Christmas Eve. 5 of the 9 children were trapped inside, but their remains were never found in the ashes. The fire was initially blamed on faulty wiring, but later investigations revealed suspicious circumstances. A ladder from the house was found in an embankment far from the home, phone lines were cut, and a witness claimed to have seen the missing children in a car driving away from the scene. Despite decades of searching and numerous theories, the fate of the 5 missing Sodder children remains a haunting mystery, leaving their family with unresolved questions and a legacy of intrigue. In 1948, an unidentified man was found dead on Summerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia. Known as the Summerton Man, he carried no identification, and all labels were removed from his clothing. A tiny piece of paper with the words, Tamam Shud, meaning ended or finished in Persian, was found hidden in his pocket, torn from a rare book of poetry. A subsequent search led to the discovery of the book in a car, which contained a mysterious code and the unlisted phone number of a local woman who denied any knowledge of the man. Despite extensive investigations, his identity and cause of death remain unknown, making the Summerton Man one of Australia's most enduring and enigmatic mysteries. In a quiet village, there was a legend about a mysterious figure known as the Nightwalker. Every full moon, villagers would hear soft footsteps outside their windows, but no one ever saw who it was. One night, a curious boy named Tim decided to stay awake and find out who the Nightwalker was. Tim hid by his window, and just as the clock struck midnight, he saw a shadowy figure gliding through the streets. The figure stopped in front of each house, peering into windows before vanishing into the darkness. The next morning, Tim told the villagers, but when they searched, there were no footprints or signs of anyone. The Nightwalker was never caught or seen again, and to this day, people still wonder who or what it was, and why it only appeared on full moons. In 1971, a man using the alias D.B. Cooper hijacked a Boeing 727 during a flight from Portland to Seattle. He claimed to have a bomb, demanded $200,000 in cash, and for parachutes. After receiving the ransom and releasing the passengers in Seattle, Cooper ordered the plane to fly to Mexico City. Somewhere over the Pacific Northwest, he parachuted out of the plane with the money. Despite an extensive manhunt and investigation, Cooper was never found, and no definitive clues have surfaced regarding his identity or fate. The case remains the only unsolved air piracy in commercial aviation history, leaving D.B. Cooper as an enduring figure of mystery and intrigue. In 1930, an entire Inuit village of about 30 people vanished from the shores of Lake Anjikuni in Canada. A fur trapper named Joe LaBelle discovered the eerily deserted settlement. He found empty huts, untouched food supplies, and a smoldering fire, but no trace of the inhabitants. Even the village's sled dogs were found buried under a snowdrift, starved to death. Further investigation revealed that the graves in the village's cemetery were opened and emptied. Despite efforts to understand what happened, no explanation for the sudden disappearance of the villagers has been found, making the Anjikuni Lake mystery one of the most baffling disappearances in Canadian history. In 1966, the bodies of two Brazilian men were found on Vintam Hill near Rio de Janeiro. The men were dressed in formal suits, covered with waterproof coats, and wore lead masks over their eyes. Beside them was a notebook with cryptic instructions. 4:30 p.m., be at the agreed place. 6:30 p.m., swallow capsules. After effect, protect metals, await signal mask. There were no signs of violence or struggle, and the cause of death was never determined due to the advanced state of decomposition. Various theories have been proposed, including a failed scientific experiment, a drug overdose, or even extraterrestrial involvement. The lead masked case remains one of Brazil's most perplexing unsolved mysteries, with no clear explanation for the men's deaths. Jenny's quiet life shattered one October night when her Ring doorbell alerted her to motion. Checking the footage, she saw a hooded figure lurking at the edge of her porch light. His vacant eyes stared into the camera, sending chills down her spine. Suddenly, the feed cut out. Reviewing the corrupted footage later, she saw only glimpses of the figure. Police found no trace of him. Weeks later, a new notification showed an empty porch, but a chilling message in red paint.
I see you.
Terrified, Jenny moved away, and the mystery of the hooded figure remains unsolved.